Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Penn. I'm the manager of retirement services here at VectorVest, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to spend a few minutes with me here today. From time to time, I come across articles or pieces of information that compel me to want to share some ideas with you on what the current market's doing and how VectorVest can help you given the information that we're able to gather. And so today, what I'd like to talk about is an article that I've found. It's called Inflation, Rising Interest Rates, and Recession. 3 Scary Topics Explained. Here's the cover of that article there. And so reading through it and getting some ideas of what they were talking about, it's hard to ignore what's going on in the market, right? We see it, read it in the headlines, we see it on TV, we know what's happening with earnings, interest, and inflation, and how they affect the market is very important to you as an investor, whether you are a short-term or longer-term investor. So what I'd like to do here today is take some of that information and share with you the power of VectorVest and how you can recognize and analyze what's going on, not only on your individual stocks with our unmatched stock analysis, how you know when to act using the VectorVest market timing indicators. Right? This is just another step on how you can put VectorVest to work for you. And so I want to start with the idea from our mentor and founder, Dr. Bart DeLito. He's created and been giving a talk for a long time called How the Market Works. And he's talked about it many times over the years. And it starts here. VectorVest believes that the stock market is driven by earnings, inflation, and interest rates. Okay, that's what drives the overall market. And we know that stock value increases when earnings go up, inflation goes down, and interest rates go down. Okay, but from everything we are seeing and reading, obviously that is currently not the case in our current market. So what I'd like to do today is take just a couple of minutes and go into the VectorVest program and share with you how you can use the program to go in and get really good quality information on those macro elements of the economy that affect the market and thereby your individual equity portfolios. So I want to start here on the homepage and just be clear. When we talk about the market climate, okay, we are talking about more of a macro or a strategic place or position for the market. When we talk about acting on that and taking a tactical position in the market, we're always going to heed the color guard. We're going to use the color guard information. The headline reads, "The color guard is bearish. VectorVest does not advocate buying any stocks at this time." And there are red lights across the board and all of our indicators are down. So that's what we're going to actually act on. But again, we can't escape the headlines. We can't escape what's going on in the overall economy and the macro view of that. So what I'd like to do here today is I'm going to go up to the Graphs tab here on the main toolbar, and I want to take you into what we call the market climate graph. And you can find that by going to the Graphs and coming to the market climate graph here on the menu. I have it set to a 1-year look back with the ETI, or the earnings trend indicator, is up top here. The earnings trend indicator tracks the earnings of the S&P 500, and it uses a 0 to 2 scale, as a lot of our indicators in the VectorVest program do, to give us good indication of the trend of the overall earnings in the market. Next, we have the CPI, or the Consumer Price Index, the Commodity Research Bureau. So these are prices of commodities. We have also down below, when we track interest rates, there are several ways to do it. I have both Treasury notes and Treasury bills down below. So when we talk about those 3 indicators that drive the market, earnings, interest, and inflation, just right here on the graph, and there's so many things you can put on, by the way. I'm just going to focus on these for this presentation. Right, so if I want to know how earnings are doing, we can see on the market climate graph under the earnings trend indicator on that 0 to 2 scale that it peaked back in February of this year and held at 1.36. If I click on any of these dates in here, again, this updates weekly. The ETI was at 1.36, as we see in the control panel. It began to tick down and has now ticked down week over week for more than a few weeks in a row, ending Friday, September 16th at 1.22. So still above 1, but as we can see, trending downward. That's the first part of those 3 important keys to the market and how it works. Next is the Consumer Price Index. Obviously, it tracks inflation. And as we see, it did tick kind of down from its peak of 9.10. So it has ticked down, but still at decades high level of 8.3 as of September 16th close. So inflation clearly at a decades high here, even though it is off the peak. Next, we have to add some color to that, the CRB, or again, commodities. The CRB consists of 19 different main commodities, and the price of those has clearly risen over the last year, again, slightly off its peak. And then finally, we have our interest rates. I'm illustrating them here in Treasury notes and bills, and you can see, the current rate. Again, as of Friday, I think it's ticked up even higher as I record. T-bills at 3.22 and Treasury notes at 3.45. Right? I believe they've hit 4 actually. I believe the T-bills have hit 4%. And so here's where you can watch, track, analyze what's going on in the macro view, which has a very big deal about how the market reacts to that. Again, when we couple this with the market timing graph, and again, the tactical moves that you make based on the market timing indicators, coupling it with this overall macro view, this more strategic view of what the market's doing, it really becomes very helpful information that is very powerful when you begin to not only build, but manage your portfolio. Right, from a retirement-minded investor, right now is not the current climate to be building a retirement portfolio. Rather, what we should be doing now is using this information to manage, protect, defend our net worth. Right, starting here with the macro view, going back to the homepage and keeping an eye on the overall market. This is, in this case, a result of what's going on from those macro issues that we just looked at on the homepage. Having that understanding and applying the power of VectorVest, it's what's going to make you a better investor. And so thank you for taking the time to spend with me as I talked a little bit about how you can use the VectorVest program to, again, track, analyze, and look at those macro elements in the economy that are going to affect your net worth, your equity portfolios. So thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you next time.